So Perplexity Computer is probably one of the most underrated AI tools at the moment, so let's dive into this complete guide. So Perplexity Computer is essentially a digital worker inside of Perplexity Comet that can autonomously operate your computer interfaces, your browsers, your apps, your tools to run long multi-step workflows for you. Now, if you're wondering what this thing actually does, is that it does a vast majority of the things that we'll go into, but it can run background tasks and continue monitoring for hours or even months. It can automate parallel research, browser actions, open pages, click around, extract data. There is so much that you can do. I truly believe that the only limitation to this software is the prompt that you give it. It's important to know that Perplexity Computer currently is only available on the Perplexity Max plan, meaning that you will have to fork out $200 a month, but apparently there will be some credits offered to lower tiers in the future. And if you do upgrade right now, I do believe that they're offering 10,000 extra free credits. So if you are going to upgrade, now is the best time to do so. So now, one of the first things that you'll know when you're on Perplexity Computer, if you click this right here, is that you can go down to the connectors, and this is where you can essentially connect all your apps and services so that computer can access and act on your data. Now, it really does depend on what kind of business you run or what kind of things you do, because this really, like I said already, has so much capabilities. If you connect it to your Google Drive, it's going to be able to put files in, draw files out. If you connect it to your OneDrive, it's going to be able to send emails in, receive emails, send emails out. Same with Notion. And there's just so many different possibilities with this that it really just does depend on what you use. Now, another thing to note as well is that even if you don't manage to connect all of these websites, sometimes it still can do things with the raw access that it has. For example, when I was actually trying to connect 11 Labs to get it to do something, it actually used a default 11 Labs connection that it already had, and it didn't even use my API key. I was trying to get it to create a podcast, but for some reason the API wasn't working, so it just used the 11 Labs integration that was there by default. Meaning that this works a lot more seamlessly than most people do think, because it already has a lot of inbuilt connections. So let's actually start to get into this demo, and I can show you guys exactly what. So now, one of the things is that shared memory persists across sessions. It automatically stores durable facts, your name, your role, your preferences, projects, and key people, and it can semantically search past conversations. So if you research something one week and you can come back today, it can recall what was found. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to input some super basic information about me just to give it some raw basic context. But remember, this is not a model where you want to do simple Q&A. The biggest unlock for this model is multi-step tasks that take a long time. You can see here it says, I'll save this important information about you to memory so I can better assist you going forward. And now it's just going to save that information. So it's got it. I've saved all of that. Here's now what I know about you. This is your main YouTube channel covering the AI news and tools, the AI Growth Academy, your second channel focused on teaching AI tools to business owners, and your core interests are AI, online business, and entrepreneurship. This context will help me tailor everything I do for you going forward, whether that's researching content ideas, drafting scripts, analyzing trends, and building assets for your channels. Now, this is just, I can't emphasize how good this is at doing stuff. So I want to show you guys a complex workflow that we could potentially do here. So I'm going to say, so I said, you're an expert AI news researcher, YouTube content strategist, and graphic designer. Find 3 under-the-radar AI product releases and generate highly clickable YouTube titles, create custom thumbnail images based on a specific template, and upload the final assets to my Google Drive. So I'm going to say step 1, do Reddit research. Step 2, do the title generation. Step 3, the thumbnail generation. Step 4, export and upload. Okay. So now what's really cool about this is that, remember guys, as soon as I hit enter, Perplexity Computer will actually go ahead and run tasks in parallel. So you can see right here, it's going to say, I can see the template clearly, cinematic stage. Now let me set up the project plan and start researching Reddit for hidden gem AI releases. So this is super cool because unlike standard tasks where it's just one agent doing everything, you've got multiple different agents. So what this means is that your task time actually goes down. So whilst one agent is checking the Google Drive to upload files, one agent is checking this subreddit, another one is checking the other Reddit, another one, like there's just so much going on. And this is just super, super useful. And what makes this super cool is that even if you wanted to go ahead and do a separate task, you can run many different tasks in parallel. So let's say I wanted to go ahead and just, start doing something else. I could immediately go go ahead and run another task in parallel if I wanted to. And so far, I know this is just absolutely crazy, but you can literally see it is making the thumbnails here. And this is just pretty crazy if you ask me. So it says introducing arrow 1. This is a thumbnail that I could use, introducing Apple Arne. And it's almost on the third thumbnail here, introducing FDM1. This is pretty crazy. I'm actually going to wait until, I come back to this. Okay, so the Google Drive upload didn't actually work. But you can see in just around 5 minutes, I got 3 hidden gems. It showed me that there's an Apple Neuron Engine reversing. You can see here, it said there's also Arrow 1 by Quiver AI. There's also FDM1 by Standard Intelligence. So guys, in just 5 minutes, this AI agent was able to do pretty much a large majority of my work. Now, I will say that when I do make my videos, of course, I do tend to do a lot of research. I tend to, manually dive through a lot of tweets. So of course, if I want to do that, I will have to probably still do that manually. But the fact that it's able to do this in such a short space of time, I think is truly, truly remarkable, because I didn't have to make an automation. I didn't have to set up a bunch of nodes. I didn't have to manually request anything. I just simply gave it a pretty comprehensive system prompt. And you can see that based on the system prompt, based on the image attached, it pretty much did the exact thing. Now, of course, the only thing I would probably need to do is change this person here, and we'd be able to get off to the races. But this is just one of the many use cases. And this was just a personal use case. Let's say you actually want to do something else. And so once again, you can see that I've said I'm running an AI agency that helps local plumbing businesses recover missed calls. I need to, number 1, find 20 plumbing businesses in London that have a website, an active phone number, and a Google business profile. Check their Google reviews for any mentions of couldn't get through. No answer. I didn't call back, or similar complaints. And then for each business, find the owner's name, a contact email, or a web form, and then score each lead from 1 to 10 on how likely they are to have missed a call based on their review sentiment and business size, and then export everything into a structured table. It actually took around 5 minutes to do all of this, and it gave me 2 Excel sheets, and number 1 contained 20 businesses ranked by lead score with the website, the phone number, the name, and the scoring methodology, and the second one showing me which ones I should actually reach out to first. And the reason I'm showing you guys this is because this is just a business use case, but I think that this is going to be remarkable, because this kind of work would take an average employee a lot amount of time. And the reason I'm showing you guys this tool is because maybe some of you guys have a business, want to start a business, and don't really understand just how far you can push this. But having an AI that's able to literally do this in just 5 minutes, you can see that the graphics are super nice. It has the lead score from 1 to 10. It has the area, the business side, their contact form. It has their email, and it also has the specific complaint details. So when I call up those businesses, if I was someone who had an AI agency, I'd actually be able to quote the right thing. And it even comes up with a scoring methodology where it says, these are the ones that I need to contact. And then it's got medium priority and then lower priority. So, I mean, this is something that is truly remarkable. But like I said, this is just a small use case for individuals who are doing outreach. What are some other interesting use cases? So one use case that I continue to see individuals do was the real-time data use case, okay? So it shows us this example here where it says using AIS data from Marine Traffic's public API or the UN Global's platform dataset, build a live updating world map web app showing major commercial vessel movements, color code by vessel type, yada, yada, yada. And essentially, this is just a real-time data asset. So if we skip to the end here, we're going to click this link and I'm going to show you guys why this is so crazy. So you can literally see this entire app having a real-time data analyst. And this is really, really effective if you're doing something that requires real-time data. And remember, considering that it's using public APIs, it's going to be able to do that really effectively in terms of getting the real real-time data. And so most people don't realize just how valuable Perplexity Computer can be when it comes to formulating data in a way that you can see. When you're on the internet, you have many different sources, many different APIs. So using this to create your own kind of command center for the kind of data sources that you might need is a very innovative use case. Of course, you'll have to find the public APIs in terms of ones that work and have, acceptable rate limits that allow you to continuously pull that data in. But I think this is a completely underrated feature, considering it just builds the web app right there for you. And the reason I also like this so much is because this is just far easier for people to use than setting up, with OpenClaw, worrying about security, worrying about containers and attacks and all of that stuff. Everything is just built inside of the web app, which is really, really useful from a user perspective. Now, remember how I just showed you guys that it can do this work? The reason I say that Perplexity Computer is kind of like a digital employee is because I could actually say, okay, now that that worked, I need you to do this at 8 a.m. every day UK time. Okay, so I can literally schedule a task. So I can say, can you please schedule this task for 9 a.m. every day UK time? And then once you do that, Perplexity will essentially now just lock this in as a cron job. So I do know that people do like crons because they're super useful and they do it at the same time. So you can see right here, it says it's now going to set up this recurring task. So it runs this command in Python, and then every day it is going to do this work for you. So it says it is done. It's going to search for subreddits every single day. It's going to cross-check it. It's going to generate clickable titles, and it's going to package everything into a research doc. And you can see tomorrow, everything kicks off at March the 3rd at 9 a.m. So you can see right there, it even accounts for the time of UK switching. And so that is why I say Perplexity Computer, it isn't just a chatbot that is able to, do things agentically. It is something that will do things consistently for you if you actually add in that schedule trigger. So if you're using this for the first time, remember to add in that schedule trigger, especially if you found a workflow that actually works for you and it is something that you do on a repeated basis. Now, if you're worried about your usage and your credits, click the bottom left, then go to your usage and credits. And this is where you will be able to see just how much every single task is costing you in credits. You can see I actually have 35,000 bonus credits because, like I said, Perplexity are doing some kind of bonus thing at the moment. So it probably does make sense to get in right now. And I'm probably going to make sure I use all of these credits before April 1st, 2026. But you can see my usage here, and how the usage works is, of course, depending on the kind of task that you're doing. Text usage isn't going to compare as much as image and video usage over long periods of time, because I'm pretty sure that video usage does require a lot of credits, but it just really depends on which work you do. So of course you will also be able to see how much credits each individual task did. So if you can see for the Reddit research, I can see that, okay, this cost me about 382 credits to do 3 different thumbnails. I can see that this cost me around 382 credits. Now, it is important to do the math here for yourself, because I predict that if you're using this, you're probably going to enjoy using this a lot. So what I would say is that if you have tasks that you run consistently, figure out what the average is in terms of those credit costs. Then once you have those credit costs, like for me, I know that this one is 382. What I know is that if we actually do the maths, considering this costs $200 per month and you get 10,000 credits every single month, if we calculate that, that works out about to $7 for this entire task. So I know that this is going to cost me a small amount of my large credits. And if it does it every day, I probably won't run out. But of course, if you have specific tasks that you need to run concurrently, or you need to run them pretty frequently, make sure you ask, an AI model, hey, look, I get 10,000 credits every month. This task that I do every single day costs this amount of credits. Will I run out at the end of the month, or should I switch to a different provider? It's important that you do that, because I did see some comments and people saying that they did run out of credits. Now, I actually asked Perplexity for these skills, and I've exported this into a list. Of course, I'm going to put, like I said, all of these resources in my community. And the reason you want to do that is because essentially Perplexity doesn't allow you to install skills, but it has skills natively baked in. And so you can see for the code area, it's got, for the core language and reasoning, it's got the ability to obviously understand text. Multi-step planning is of course a skill. Now, if we want to look at the core skills here, you can see it's got live web browsing for current info, which means no fixed knowledge cutoff. It has deep research mode, meaning that multi-source, multi-step autonomous research can pull 100+ citations on complex topics. It's also got source inspection and comparison with inline citations and responses. It can also work with pretty much any file, PDFs, docs, spreadsheets, slides. It's also got data analysis, run code on tabular, compute stats, clean data, and generate summaries. Of course, it's got documents, markdown text, spreadsheets, presentations, webs, apps, and dashboards. For the automation style skills, it can orchestrate multi-step workflows, research, analysis, charts, doc app. It can build dashboards, spreadsheets, simple web apps from prompts. It can run background work that chains browsing, code execution, and content generation. It can generate charts, plots, and export them into PNGs and turn them into full analytical reports with embedded visuals. It can also generate and edit images from text prompts. It's got Perplexity's embedded image generation. It can create short, simple AI videos. Like I said, if you set up the email skill, you can, have summarized inboxes, draft replies, organized threads. Of course, once again, it has memory. And personalization. Can maintain long-term memory of a preference, interests, constraints, and past conversations. Of course, it can maintain a long-term memory of your preferences answers, interesting constraints. And so of course, if you want this entire, skill list, of course, don't forget to check out the community. I don't think I'm having enough space in the description, but if you look at these skills, they essentially allow you to go deeper if you have a specific task that you want Perplexity to be able to do and you're wondering if it's able to do it. So for example, I just saw another one on Twitter, and this one was really cool. And I can say create a GIF of the Nvidia stock price since inception. So let's say maybe you want to tweet this out. I'm going to go ahead here. And this is of course just something that could be a useful visual. So another useful thing that it can do is it can actually create GIFs. And for this example, I'm going to ask it to create a GIF of the Nvidia stock price since inception. So this is actually pretty cool. You can see when I asked for the Nvidia GIF, it actually created an entire GIF from all the way from the financial crisis. It has the AI boom begins, the ChatGPT effect, and then it shows me the stock price. Now, I think this is super cool because sometimes these small visualizations, maybe you want to share them on social media. Maybe you even want to include them in a video and you'd like a small animation. This is why I'm saying, the ability to not only go out there, get the information, synthesize the information and present it back really quickly. This is a must-have for certain online business owners because it is just super useful. And I think that anyone who does anything on a computer is probably going to appreciate Perplexity Computer. You can see here when I asked it to actually generate some images for carousel generation, I literally just said research today's AI news, give me the top 5 stories and use the attached image as a carousel template. These are from Instagram, so format as such. And so the only reason this didn't, work as well is because I didn't introduce a JSON prompt template. If you're unaware what that is basically where you have a JSON file that is essentially the full structure of that image. You can essentially just ask Gemini to create that. And when you include that in your prompt, the image outputs are just 10 times better. But nonetheless, it was able to find all the information, upload it to Nana Banana, get back an image, and you can see it was able to make 5 images right here. Super useful. I mean, this example, if we're talking about videos and images, is something that I really do like. There was this example from Perplexity that said, find me the most complete Billboard Hot 100 chart history from this year to that year. And it says, use public data sets, use this API, and then build me an animated horizontal bar chart race video showing this data. And you can see it literally outputs that entire video as a minute. I don't know about you guys, but other AI tools aren't able to do this as effectively. I'm not sure if they're not natively imbued with these. And of course, you have to go and download skills. That is why I believe that this is much easier for the average person to use. With tools like Claude Cowork and OpenClaw, you do have to know a little bit about the ecosystem of that tool. You have to know which skills to actually go ahead and install. You have to know which tools it can do, which tools it cannot do. But Perplexity Computer just essentially removes all of that complexity and puts everything there by default so that the more tasks you try to do, it's not going to require more complexity. It's just going to use the tools that are already in that existing sandbox. So now another thing that you can do with Perplexity, if we're talking about video, is I'm not even sure how it does this, what kind of container it uses, but you can do things with videos. So you can say, I can say, find me the clip where Demis Hassabis is talking about the new test for AGI, get it, cut it, and have some purple subtitles on there so I can post it on TikTok. And it's actually going to go ahead and download that clip, do that research for me. And this is going to be super useful. For me, if I'm working on a video, I can't find a specific clip, I can spend more time actually doing, research on the latest papers, the latest innovative developments, and also looking deeper than just surface level information. And so, yeah, instead of actually going around and running around Twitter to find the clip, you can see here that it actually managed to do exactly what I asked it. So it managed to go on YouTube, find the clip, download it, format it, crop it in the 9:16. And then of course you can see here, it actually added the purple subtitles. In hindsight, purple probably wasn't the best idea, but this is something that is just remarkably useful because I don't need to spend time finding, clips online. If I know the clip exists, it's going to be able to do that. And stuff like this is super useful because previously you would have had to find a way to download the clip. You would have had to find a way to not only add subtitles, open up a video editor, then also crop it, render it, then send it. You can see that this was done in 5 minutes. So that is why I say this tool is most certainly remarkably useful. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want all of this to be able to download, I actually made a guide that basically goes you through everything that there is on Perplexity Computer. I'm literally just going to leave a link to this in the description because there's so much information here and I just want to give it to you guys for free. The description is just far too long. So there'll be a link there. You just click and you can download it. But it's just super useful. It's basically everything I learned, everything I found by scouring the internet. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, I'll see you in the next.